Hello, my friends. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm going live again at a weird time. But you know what? There's too many exciting things that started today that we need to chat about. So I decided that no time like the present. Look at, you can see why I'm inky thumbs. I always have ink going on when I've been crafting. So today is February 3rd when I'm recording this. And we had some new things come up today, so we're going to be talking about that. As you tune in, please say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're watching the replay, you can let me know that too. I suppose this is episode 232 of Why Did I Buy This? I have a review I want to show you about a new tool that Stampin Up has just released. And I have 3 really, really fun projects to share with you. So it's not even just like a baby, why did I buy this? This is a real deal. I just decided to come on and say hi. Hi, Alexina, nice to see you. Please let me know what you've been up to. I went skiing this weekend. I had some friends from out of town visiting and we had beautiful weather in Banff. It was just gorgeous, really good conditions, lots of snow this winter. And so, we had great food and great skiing and we got to be outside. I got to try the new Nordic spa, which is in Canmore. If you're familiar with that town, there's a brand new Nordic spa and that was really, really fun to try out. It was a great weekend overall. But right before I left, my new Stampin Tool had arrived. And so I was thinking about it all weekend, about all the things I wanted to show you with that. And so it's been fun to kind of dive into it and get a feel for what I think. I'm going to share with you, I'm going to reveal to you what I think of it, some of the things I like and a couple things I don't love, but I'm going to share it all with you. I'm going to be candid about it. So come on in and watch and I'm going to show you what I have to share. Nova Scotia, Alexina. Okay, that is such a beautiful place. I've been to Halifax, but it was a long time ago. It's so pretty. I'd like to spend some more time there. Hello, Christine. Thanks for joining us. Yes. Oh, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Lindsay Mann. If you've ever wondered how to say my last name, M-A-H-O-N, Mann. It's Irish. My husband's family is from Ireland originally, way back, back in the day. So Mann is how you say it. And I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator 22 years. I'm actually going to be celebrating my 23rd anniversary next month, which is wild. So I've been crafting a long, long time. Love it. Love to share ideas with all of you. And I just want to say thanks for joining us. It's always fun to see and share with the crafting community. Okay, Jennifer got your Stampin' Tool last week. Love that. And I'm excited to hear that you love it. Why don't we just dive in? Now's a good time to share this video, like it. It's really helpful to me if you share this with your friends. It's helpful to them too because they're going to get to hear my review on this new tool. Okay, so February 3rd, 2026, what is happening today? So Stampin' Up! Has just released a starter kit special, and this special is pretty great. So I'm going to walk you through the tool that you'll get for free if you'd like to join. And for those of you who are demonstrators, you probably already pre-ordered yours. And eventually this will make it into our customer store, but currently it is only available with the starter kit. So I'm going to do the awkward transition here with my hands, and we're going to get going on this new product. Okay, here it is. Diving in. I don't know why it always gives me the fisheye here. Okay, there we go. So here it is. You probably have already heard that we have a new positioning tool that has come available. This tool is pretty spectacular. It has some things that I really, really love about it. I'm going to show you a couple quirky things that we're going to work around. This is what you get in the box. You get, of course, your instruction sheet. You get a little positioner. You get the big topper, and then you get the base with a couple of magnets. All right. There also is the ability to add on the designer series paper, this is not designer series paper, grid paper. That's what I wanted to say. So, we have another friend, Anne, visiting from Nova Scotia. Hi. Wow, lots of friends from Nova Scotia this morning. That's cool. Okay, so you can add this on. This isn't included with the purchase of this. This would be an add-on purchase, but it is designed to line up with that, and I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so here's what you want to know. Our Stampin Positioner is only available with the Demonstrator Starter Kit, and you're going to get that for free. Now, in Canada, I'm just going to write this down for you. Can you see me? Yeah. So in Canada, you pay $135 for your starter kit. There's no shipping or GST charged on that. You get to pick out $165 of product. So that's what you're going to pick. And you're going to get the Stampin Positioner for free. Positioner for free. Beautiful. So when you add all these things to your starter kit, and when you think if you were to pick out $165 of product and then pay the shipping and tax on it, which you would as a customer, if you put it in your starter kit and you only pay $135 and there's no shipping or GST, and you're getting a Stampin' Positioner for free, you're actually getting $135 of savings. Wow. Okay, so let me talk about this new tool. This is kind of major. So this new tool is designed for a couple of things. It's going to take the place of your blocks when you're in that part of your project. So whatever you're going to, when you think about mounting your stamps, you're going to be mounting it on this. And there's 3 reasons why I like to use this Stampin' Positioning tool over blocks. I'm a pretty advanced crafter. I've been crafting for a long time, and I have a bazillion blocks. So using blocks is a pretty easy thing for me to do, and it's pretty quick. If I'm making a one-off or if I'm doing something that I just want to try something, blocks are going to be great. But I'm going to show you 3 reasons why a Stampin' Positioning tool is a big asset in your crafting. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to remove the platforms here, or the plates, and we're just going to look at the platform. So the platform has both empirical and metric along the top. I know in Canada we use metric, but in crafting we do tend to use imperial. A lot of, I think, because our paper is sized in imperial, it's just easier to make those cuts that way. So you can see that there's grid paper along, a ruler along the top and the side. There are also, this is a big magnet. So I had somebody ask me about the pacemaker. It's because this is a magnet here that these all stick to anywhere you want. Now, one of the things that's really helpful is sometimes magnets will stick together like that. They just kind of find each other. They're like romantically involved. And with these little tabs, it's very easy to pull them apart. So they don't get stuck forever. They're not stuck with each other. We can just use these little tabs to pull it apart. Now I do find that the grid paper is kind of a must. I'm going to pull off a piece. So again, you can see we've got empirical and we've got metric. And we're going to go ahead and stick that on top of these little pegs here. There's big pegs. We're going to use those in a minute. And then there's these little pegs. So these little pegs, we're going to slide this over top. And now we have our grid paper on there. So this is going to help us line things up. Now, I'm a big fan of using washi tape to help things kind of stay in place. So I'm just adding a little bit of washi tape to the bottom and a little bit of washi tape to the corners so that we can keep that in place. So I would say that maybe would be one of the things that that I noticed right away is that I don't want this lifting off the paper because the stamps, photopolymer stamps, are sticky, and so it's just helping to keep that grid paper so we don't have to press it back into place every time. Okay, so let's move on to our first project. So one of the things that you can do when you're getting your starter kit this month is you can order pre-order items in your starter kit. So all of the projects that I'm making today are with the new online exclusives that are coming out in March. And oh boy, are they cute. You are going to love them. So first of all, you knew this was going to be on my wish list. So it's called Cutest Crew, and it's got like little birds and little dogs and little kitties, and it's got all these cutie patootie little footprints, and I love the greetings in it. So yeah, this is adorable. Right away, I love it. So what I wanted to start with Number one reason why you need a stamping positioning tool is it's really great for repeat stamping. So I'm going to bring in a piece of 4" by 1.5" white cardstock, and I'm going to start with the smaller of the toppers. And what we're going to do is line this up with the pegs. So this is why I find the grid paper really helpful, because you can see from the edges here where things are lined up, and I'm gonna line this up right on the edge of that platform there. So now we're going to start with this on our paper, just like that. At the top, you're going to see there's the little holes here. That's going to line up with these bigger pegs. And here you can see our their little feet, but the little feet squish in. So that gives you a really nice stamped image, because it pushes all the way into the platform, and those are on both sides. So this is going to line up on here, and I'm just gonna push my, because I'm using the edge of this here, I'm just going to push this in a smidge. Like that. So this is going to pick that up. Like that. All right, so once we have that layered, we're going to throw a magnet on it like that. And we're going to bring in Azure Afternoon. I put a post out this weekend about color, because you guys know I'm a pool party addict, and I'm trying really hard to expand my color base. So if you have a favorite color combo, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I'd like to put together a document for all of us to use that we can refer back to and say, okay, I'm having a color day where I'm not feeling it. Then you can just look at the color doc. So go ahead and send me your favorites. Okay, so I'm just going to reposition this over here. And now we're going to pick those two, line it up, give it a little smush, and voila, we have that little repeat stamping. So I'm gonna bring in my Stampin' blends. These are clear, remember, and they're beautiful at picking up the ink. So this is still wet. So we're just gonna go over top of where we've stamped, and it's going to add a really, really subtle coloring to our birds. And it just makes it for like a really cute, pretty light blue bird, okay? Just like that, so you can see that there. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Yes, please add your favorite color combos in the comments, and we will get a doc made for all of you. Okay, I'm gonna bring in my favorite cheeks. So remember, this is the Extra Light Naturals blends, and we're going to pick the pen end. And because our little birdies have faces, we're just going to give them some cheeks, because cheeks make them look extra cute. Like that, okay. And then we're going to bring in Soft Sea Foam, and we're just gonna go over top of where the grass is there and give our birds a little grass to stand on. Just like that. Okay, so let's set that aside. We're gonna bring back in our Stampin' Positioning tool, and now I'm going to bring in the card base, okay? So I want to add on some, what am I gonna do? I'm going to add on some footprints. So you'll notice I'm just cleaning the stamp off. We're gonna remove it, and we're gonna stick it back into our set here. So I'm just gonna layer that on like so, and then I'm gonna bring in those footprints, those little guys right there. Okay, so we're gonna line it up again with the pegs, because that is going to make it easier to remember where it was. And I wanna kind of think about, okay, my birds are gonna go here. So now we can put our footprints here. And we're going to always look for this Stampin' Up logo to be right side up. So we're going to layer that on like so, and just pick that up. Okay, so now we can set that aside. The setup is always gonna move a little bit. Now you're gonna come back to it. So now I just need to find where I threw down my magnets. This is a me problem, not an it problem. Are you guys like this? Why am I like this? I can never remember where I put stuff down. Okay, but for real, where did I put them? Oh my gosh. You guys are you yelling at me? Where are they? Huh. Okay, well, weird. So we're gonna go ahead and line that up. Maybe I'm gonna have to do, that is so weird. Where did I put them? I'm a professional, I swear. Okay, I'm just gonna use my washi tape, which of course is a solution. You know what? I'm just helping you like solve problems here. That's what I'm up to. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, we're gonna use our Azure Afternoon. We're going to put it on the pegs. We're gonna give it a press. And we're just gonna repeat. So, reason number one, you need a Stampin' Positioning tool is if you wanted to do really nice repeat stamping, this just makes it so easy to do that because it's always going to line up. And if you're somebody who really likes things to be perfect, I mean, perfect is sort of relative, but if you like things to be lined up in a nice way, that is definitely a great way to do it. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and stick this back, and then I'm so genuinely confused right now. So we're going to just layer this on like so. I'm going to bring in my dimensionals for that. And we're going to throw that on like so. And you can tell I cut this one because these are weird shapes. Okay, pull off the backings. Okay, just like that. And this is going to stick on like so. Okay, I'm going to skip to the end here and show you the finished card. So when we're all done, you can stamp on the greeting and you've got these cute little birds with their cute little cheeks, and the repeat stamping is just really, really simple. Okay, so just a nice way to be able to add that even look. Okay, we're going to move on to project number 2. So project number 2, we're going to bring in a large stamp. So again, brand new set. This is a reveal. So enjoy the sneak peeks. This is coming out March. So this one is a big background stamp. And once again, from a stamp positioner perspective, this is a great way to be able to use your stamp positioner. So I am going to bring this in, and I want to set down my paper first. So I heard from a lot of you that you love Secrecy, and you are not alone. I also love it. So we're going to layer this on like that. I want it stamped off the page just like that. Now there's another way that you can layer your paper. You can do it like this. So there's a little notch here. You can actually see when you're looking at yours, you'll see that there's a spot right here. So you can layer your paper in, and that's a way to always have it in the same position. As long as you've got them butted up against the two little knobs, and that it's going to be fine. So we can do it that way, but I'm gonna do it this way for now, and I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna show you a technique actually. So our stamp positioning tools are great for having the big stamps on, and it just is going to help give an even coverage, okay? So I'm going to, I can't believe I've lost my magnets. That is so weird. I hope that this is something that you also have happen sometimes, because wow. Okay, I'm just gonna put a little piece of tape there. Again, this is just gonna help to keep things in place. But I'm going to move this, and again, I'm looking for the Stampin' Up logo to be right side up, and we're going to put the big plates on these two little pegs like that. So that's going to pick that up. So the little one picks up with those pegs, and the big one picks up with those pegs. So we're gonna pull that off. And I'm going to bring in my Secret C ink, and we're going to ink the whole stamp. What a pretty stamp this is. Is this one on your wish list? Remember, if you want to get that starter kit, you can add these things to your starter kit now. And that started today. Okay, so we're just going to line up those and give it a press. So again, what I love about this is the bigger stamps can be hard to get that pressure on, but this really does it. Now, if you were like, oh, I didn't really get enough on there, the Stampin' Positioner makes it so easy to do this, where you just line it up and you give it another press, and so you can kind of fix your mistakes and make it just a little bit darker. So I love that. I'm just using a baby wipe to get off the excess. You could even take this over to your sink though and run it under water, because sometimes the bigger stamps, especially when they have lots of detail like this one, the ink can kind of get caught up in the grooves. So this is just a way to be able to, if you run it under the sink, it's going to be fine. Next, I'm going to bring in a craft white. What I'm going to do is move this over like the tiniest smidge. We're just going to move it over like 1/8 of an inch. So I had it lined up to that line before. Now we're going to just have it over just that tiniest smidge, and I'm going to put that back down. Now I'm going to give my white craft ink a little press on there, and we've moved it over just a smidge, and watch what happens. Here's a really fun stamp positioning technique for you. Okay, so we've given it a press, we're going to pull it off, and now you get that really subtle outline that is just so pretty. Hard to do when you're lining it up by eye, but with a stamp positioning tool, yeah, it does make it very, very easy to do that sort of highlighting technique. Okay, once we have that done, I'll bring back in my stamp case. And you just, when you've got a big one like that, you're just going to kind of work it off. It really helps practice your hand strength. And we're going to layer that on upside down so it lines up, and voila, done. Okay, so here we've got that super pretty look. Now here's another way to use your positioning tool. I'm going to bring in this tab punch, and I'm just going to bump it all the way from the bottom, and I'm going to line it up on the side, and I'm going to punch like that. Now I have a piece of cardstock that's exactly the same size. I'm going to layer this inside. And then I'm just going to put this on top for a sec. Now I'm going to bring back my plate. Here we've got the Stampin' Up logo. We want to turn that over. And we want to bring back in my little cutest crew. And I want this just a little hello. So the just a little hello fits really nicely inside that punch. So I'm going to line that up and stick that on top. So if you are making multiples of something, say you wanted to make a whole bunch of birthday cards to have them on hand, or you're in a swap, this is just such a great way to be able to have that repetitive stamping without having to do anything crazy or make mistakes. So now I'm going to put that on top. We're going to give it a press. And when we bring this back in, it lines up perfectly. Okay, let me skip to the end and show you this. So here's what it looks like when we've mounted it onto a card base. And I've added in these cute little strawberry and dots. These are also brand new, coming out in March. And so you can see that there's Secret Sea and strawberry slush, and then adorable strawberries. Do you see those? Yeah, I think these are going to be very, very popular. It's part of like a whole jam suite. Okay, so that is another technique you can do with your Stampin' Positioning tool. Okay, my last one is definitely a PYP, so stick with me. You're gonna want to get a feel for what's coming next here. I'm just gonna pull out a bunch of wipes. So I'm gonna pull this off and just give it a nice clean. Again, you can rinse it under the sink if that works for you. If you have a chamois, those work really well with your positioning tools too. And then we can get going here. Okay, so this is such a great little set. It's just a stamp set. There's no dies included with that. But I just thought it was really, really cute artwork. And this is another way that your stamp positioning tool is going to be exactly what you need for a set like this. Okay, so let me open it up. And we're going to, look at those, so cute. We're going to get started on our project. So I'm going to bring in a 5" by 3 3/4. I'm going to use this little notch here. That's going to be how we line it up. And I'm going to bring back in my washi tape, and we're just going to give that a little press. Yeah, I'm so confused where I put the magnets. I literally had them when I started this video, and then this is the story of my life. Okay, whatever. You guys know the magnets exist. I'm just not using them because I have lost mine. Okay, so what we're going to do is build a scene. So we're going to set aside our platform. I'm going to find them after this video is done, and I'm going to laugh so hard because, yeah, it's going to be hilarious, I'm sure. Okay, so we're going to start by building our scene, and I'm going to add this right here. And I'm going to put my little astronaut right here. And I need a rocket ship that our astronaut has come from. Okay. Then we're going to bring a planet out here. We're going to add a star right here and a cluster of stars over here. And I think that's it for our scene. Okay. So now I'm going to bring back in my platform. I'm going to make sure my Stampin' Up logo is readable. And we're going to press and pick up all of those stamps, okay? Like that. So what a mess. We don't see, like, if you were working with a block, you'd be like, I don't understand this. But this is definitely one of the assets, one of the biggest assets, I think, to a stamp positioning tool. So you can see we've got all these little guys here. So I'm going to bring in my memento, and I'm going to ink up all of the stamps at the same time. So you can imagine if I was making a birthday card, an invitation, if I was doing swaps, suddenly I can just ink all of the stamps at the same time. I'm going to use my wipe here to just take off any excess, just so I don't accidentally press it into something. We're going to flip it over so the Stampin' Up logo is readable, and we're just going to give it a press. Okay. Whoa. Just like that. So now I can make 50 of these just pressing over and over and over, and they're all going to be in the same spot. Isn't that brilliant? Okay. Yeah. Number one reason why you need a stamp positioner. But we are not done yet. We're going to keep working away on this beautiful, beautiful PYP card. It is definitely over the top. I'm going to pull off all these stamps. And we're going to bring in our little moon. Okay, so we've got our moon, and it is going to go on like this. Now I noticed that it has like a little circle that kind of fits right in that notch of those words, so it's kind of a nice spot to set it. Okay, logo up, and then we're going to press that in. So did you know, if you were a Stampin' Up demonstrator last month and you dropped because it was our pending month, you can rejoin with your upline, the person that you were with right now. You can actually join again. So if you would like to rejoin, now is a good time. Okay, so we're going to now give it a press like that. And we have our beautiful little scene. Okay. So I promised you a PYP card. So let's do it, shall we? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to pull this off of here. And we're going to create a crazy background now. Now I want to leave my elements white. So one of the things that you can do that's just spectacular is, I'm going to grab some blocks and do this quickly because it's this part, I don't need things to be positioned well. So this is where you can see the difference between using blocks versus using your stamp positioner. So I have my little rocket ship, and I've got, oh, I need a little bit bigger block. And I have my astronaut, okay? So what this is right here is masking paper. So masking paper is a Stampin' Up product, and you can stamp right onto it. Ignore that, that was just from something else when I was practicing. So we're going to stamp those right onto the paper, and I'm going to bring in my snips, and we're going to cut those out. Now the best way to do masking paper is to cut along the line. You don't want to be fancy and leave like a little edge on it or anything. You want to actually almost cut on the inside of the line, because it helps it to, do you see how close I'm getting? So, because it helps it to not leave any white around the image itself. So I've got the one, and then we're going to cut out our little guy. So again, don't leave any white. You want to get as close to the edges as possible. You can be kind of fast with it. You don't have to be super exact with all the little bumps on his suit. The biggest thing is you want to just try to keep the white edge off. What do you think? Are you guys with me still? Yeah, that's the thing with PYP, right? They take a little bit more time. They're a bit quicker. I don't care that I'm smudging his suit because that actually isn't going to be part of this at all. Okay. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to bring in, I've already done the world. Now we're going to bring this in and start creating a very fun background. So this is going to go on top. You're just going to give it a nice light press. We're going to peel the backing off of this. This is where my take your pick tool would be helpful. Let me grab it. So now this is going to go on top of our rocket ship. See how you can see the lines? I like to see that. And then our little guy. This is going to go on top like that. Okay. So let's bring back in our Secret C. And I'm going to bring in some blending brushes, and we're going to start creating a background. So with our Secret C, I am going to start off the edge of the page, and I'm just going to start dragging that color into the thing. Now, one of the things that you can do, and I'm just thinking of this now, this is a new tool for me too, but one of the things that you can do is you can flip it over. The grid paper is bumpy on the other side, but you can use this like your glass mat. So you can just kind of go on top of it, and it'll help you to blend. So we've got the one side. We're going to bring this on over here. Just add a little bit of Secret C. We can do some down here, going right over top of where that moon is. Now, I like the idea that the galaxy is multiple colors. I'm bringing in Berry Burst, and now we're going to add some of that purple in. Now, I'm just going to give my mat a little wipe, and we're going to start off the edge and drag that in. Okay, beautiful. And we're going to do that over here. Just like that. Okay, now another great galaxy color is Blueberry Bushel. So once again, I'm going to just clean that off just so I don't pick it up with my brush. And Blueberry Bushel for the win. So you can see where we've added our masking paper, our little guys, they're not going to pick up that color, right? So this kind of card does take a little bit more time because you want to give it the blending attention it deserves. I'm going to come back in. I just want the Berry Burst to be a little bit more dark. Pretty. One more. And for the sake of time, I got to move on. Okay. Lovely. So here's what's next. We're going to bring in our little craft white ink. And you'll notice that in my palette, I've just added a bit in there. And I'm going to use my aqua painter, and I'm going to pick up some of that ink and just make a little inky soup. With the masking still on, we're going to tap that white craft ink on the background. And what we're doing is creating that galaxy of stars. Isn't that fun? Okay. I'm going to bring in my heat tool and just give it a little dry. Not only are we drying it, but we're also loosening up that masking tape so it's not going to stick to our paper. So now we can peel that off. Yeah, that's just a tip I'll give you. It helps when it's a little bit warm still so that you can peel those off. And the thing is, you can actually stick those in with the stamp set and save them for the next time you need to do some masking. So here we've got our little guy. Now, I wanted to make this feel more like a real moon. So what I did was I brought in my, what color is this? Smoky slate, light smoky slate. So we're gonna go over top of, I'm gonna bring out the brush end. I'm gonna go over top of this to just color it in. And anywhere that I've missed then is gonna, excuse me, be filled in with my marker. So we can just go right over, just like that. Lovely. So same thing over here. And now we're going to color that in. I'm going to leave just a smidge of white so it's like the highlight on the moon. Okay. What do you think? Give me a thumbs up if you're still with me. Okay. Gorgeous. Now, I wanted to just make his mask a little bit darker. I wanted to really have that feeling of, you know, that, you know, endless kind of look into the guy. So it's a little bit darker. And then I brought in another tool, which is really, really fun. If you haven't played with yours in a while, bring it out again. So this is your, you can see mine's really old. This is your fine tip glue pen. So I wanted to create that feeling of the, like the dome on his helmet. And so I just brought that in, and you just use that tip to create the little pile of glue there, like that. Same with on the rocket ship. I wanted it to look shiny, like that. The key is don't shake it because you don't want bubbles added in. And I'm going to go over the top of Saturn, and I'm going to go over the top of the SAR, like that. This does take a little bit of drying time, but again, with a P by P card, you can definitely, this is the hardest part if you're in the latter half of life, getting that little pin in there. I feel like I need glasses to do this, and I don't have mine in front of me. I'll come back to that. So you set this aside to dry, and you're going to get that texture drying into that bulb. It's just so pretty. Now there's one more thing I want to show you that's a sneak peek, and that is the Wonderful Stars Puffy stickers. Look how nice and big they are. It's the size of my thumbnail. So we're going to use our, take your pick tool, and we're going to pick up the stars. I'm going to add one down here, and then we'll add a couple little ones up here. One more here. I mean, come on. Isn't that cute? Okay, let me skip to the end and I'll show you the finished project. So that is what it looks like. I did use my blends and just did an outline to kind of make it look like it's popping off the page, and I colored in a little bit. So those are things I didn't show on this, but yeah, just a little bit different. So here you can see we've got our Out of This World, and then we have our big background stamp, and we have our cutest crew. Oh, they're just so adorable. And so here it is, friends. If you are interested in getting the Stampin Positioner tool, it is only available right now through our Demonstrator Starter Kit. It likely isn't coming out for a while. They said that they're going to be revealing it to customers, but not for a little bit. So this is the time. So my review is, I love it for these kinds of techniques. For quick stamping, I'm still going to reach for my blocks. But if you're new to stamping, this is another way that you can have access to like the full size of blocks in one's positioning tool. So I really, really hope that you've enjoyed seeing how I've used that to be able to make techniques. If you're buying the starter kit, I'm going to put the link in the comments here so that you can just go ahead and click the link and head to my store. If you're joining with me, you need to be from Canada. Again, in Canada, it's only $135. You get $165 of products of your choice. You get the stamp positioning tool for free, and it amounts to about $135 worth of savings. I'd love it if you'd share this video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you're getting all of the latest on stamping tips and techniques. And if you'd like to join my team, the Cloud9 Stampers, we'd love to have you. Any reason that you join is a great reason to join. You'll meet like-minded crafters in our team. Okay, friends, have a great week. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.